We'll do it live.
Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 253. I am Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello.
Hi.
And Jana. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, you guys. Oh, all right. I am on to, for drinks this week, a Coors Banquet, because it is one of 3 beers that was available in this fridge because I've been slacking.
I have a PBR, which is significantly worse than a Hams.
Yeah.
In
the hot weather, at least, for sure.
No, I think just all year round. Like, I've never been a big fan of PBR. Like, I've been like so.
I don't get gut rot from it.
So, well, this is the thing. Is like, so I am a connoisseur of. I am a cicerone of cheap beer.
I was gonna go let's just go straight to Cicerone.
I'm a cicerone of cheap beers. I like good beers as
Sure.
well. Don't get me wrong. But similar to the reason I love Phil Collins more than I love Peter Gabriel, when you limit yourself and you put when you put yourself in a box and you are able to succeed within that box, that takes a special kind of talent.
It does.
And that's why I'm more of a fan of Phil Collins. Because, like, Peter Gabriel's doing all this, like, weird art pop stuff. Phil Collins is like, dude, I'm just going to get in the top 40 and make just as good music.
This metaphor is really having a hard time with my brain, but it's not wrong.
Hams is Phil Collins.
Phil's Collins?
Yes, Phil's Collins. Hams
Phil's
is,
calling.
Are there multiple Phil's Collins here?
Hams is Phil Collins, whereas you have something like a
Good lord.
I'm trying to think of a Indeed Flavor Wave IPA, which is the IPA that's super good and doesn't like taste like a 9-volt battery.
Low
The one-
IBU then?
It's really good. It's the one I showed you.
Is
and
it a hazy?
It was a hazy
Yep.
one. And you're like, wow,
There are
this
some
is
hazes I
actually
really
very
like.
good.
Yeah.
Those are like
Just
the Peter.
American
Those are
IPAs
your like
there.
Peter Gabriels and your Gary Newmans and stuff, where they're just like weird space of like electro art pop. Whereas like you have Phil Collins, where he's like, you know what? I invented reverb on snare drum, and I made the best sounding noise in the world.
That's
So-
debatable. But anyway, I
This-
appreciate your metaphor at the very least.
This, on the other hand, I don't know. This is like Glenn Fry or something. It's just not as good. I guess I like Glenn Fry. I have to think about this. This is Billy Idol.
Bill.
I
Okay,
don't-
how so?
Well, Billy Idol he tried to do the same thing Phil Collins did, and he was very popular, but he wasn't nearly as good. He doesn't have the staying power of Phil Collins. He's fine. Like,
Okay.
Billy Idol isn't objectively bad. You don't listen to you don't listen to like Billy Idol and you're like, I just wish I wasn't listening to music right now. You
Sure.
listen to Billy Idol and you're like, White Wedding or like,
It's
Eyes Without a Face
it's
or
elevator
something.
music.
yeah, it's okay. Like it's like cool. I'm at a wedding. I'm at a wedding and they're going to play 80s music.
I will say
You hope it's probably Billy Idol, not like My Sharona.
there are 80s songs that I like much more than other 80s songs, but how my brain's working
I know
listening
you-
to this metaphor. No, and you know how I feel about Phil Collins, but his 80s song is by far the catchiest and most memorable of any 80s song.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
it is
Phil
what it is.
Collins is Hams, whereas
Yep.
this is Billy Idol. It's
Yep.
fine, but I'm gonna listen to Phil Collins and dissect that music way harder than I'm gonna dissect Billy Idol. So
That's totally fair. I hate to say it, kind of, but
anyway, let's talk about Patreon and then move
Yep.
on.
Patreon.com/Carbitrage. On this super cool website, you will find 2 open-ended levels of support starting at $1.50 a month that help us just cover beer and hosting costs. Also gives you some cool swag in return, like stickers, potentially some additional swag like koozies, and in the future, if you'd like a shirt or a a hat, we can discuss that as well. So patreon.com/Carbitrage. Check us out. Thanks, guys. And on to the first topic. The last car show we had down here before I left was the Wednesday night car show here. There's a separate committee that kind of hosts those, and I'm not usually down here for the Wednesday night shows just because it's a weeknight and this is an hour from my home. But Randy showed up to the last one, and I was here.
Okay.
As I was jamming lots of pizza into my face, he shouts at me from down below, and he said, "Berger, you got to come down here and see this. You're going to like it." And you know me, a very difficult person. I start shouting different car options that he might possibly have outside, and I nailed it because he stopped responding when I said Ioniq 5.
Oh.
So Randy has an Ioniq 5 right now. I came down there, I plugged him in, just so he could learn how to charge this thing. And I looked it over, and boy, that is a big vehicle in person. I mean, I've heard that from people that have seen it before. It's very well proportioned, so you don't really understand that it's not an 80s looking hot hatch.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a really cool looking car, and I totally still want one. The 350 kilowatt CCS is kind of appealing. I do road trip my car a fair bit, and my current car pretty much tops out at like 75 kilowatts, so I would stand to gain quite a bit from that. The main issue with the Ioniq 5, and this is something I've only learned through our top Patreon patron, Scott, the heat pump is only available when you purchase the all-wheel drive dual motor variant. You can't actually order the rear-wheel drive one with a heat pump, which is the configuration that I would want if I bought one of those things. But
it kills it.
Other than that, I mean, apparently they do.
You're done. Yeah, no, you're done. That's
Yep.
it. That's the end of the story right there.
But this company just announced, and it's in pre-production phase right now, but they announced the next vehicle in their Ioniq electric lineup, which is called the Ioniq 6. And this isn't a hatch; it's a sedan, but I kind of want to. I assume you've seen the news. You've looked at this already.
I've not actually. I want to hear this.
Well, as soon as this, I don't have YouTube Premium logged in here for some godforsaken reason. Give me a moment. I apologize.
Okay.
So Hyundai's design team, they want to completely buck the trend of every single car they make looking the same. So they want each model to have a completely different design ethos. Good. Yeah. There's still a couple of carry forward elements like the pixels. You'll still see those in the taillights, but they're a different shape. They're in a different orientation.
Cool.
But they're using them on the steering wheel airbag. There's a set of 5 of these pixels, and they're actually used as the charging indicator when your car's plugged in, along with the charge port and the front splitter.
I hate the belt line, but it's a good looking car.
I think the belt line reminds me a lot of the first gen CLS, and not necessarily in a good way. I know we just talked about the CLS.
That's exactly what I mean. Oh my God, nope, I'm done. I'm over it. There's so many ways this could be good, and the belt line I hate.
I want to see this in not silver.
The belt line ruins it. I'm going to tell you here now. Actually, 1 second.
It has a drag coefficient of 0.21, so I mean, they're doing it for a reason, but I don't know how to feel about this. I don't hate it.
It reminds me of a Panhard. Of a Panhard.
Panel?
Yeah. The body line of it, I'm trying to find the exact Panhard, but it looks like a Panhard.
I'm just going to pause the video where they give us an overview shot of the car again. All right. Yeah, if you post one in a link to a photo, I can bring it up for the video people. But it's based on the same platform as the Ioniq 5, so I'm expecting very similar power outputs. I'm expecting the same battery packs. The wheelbase is a little bit longer. It is much more aerodynamic, so this thing might get really absurdly good range with the rear-wheel drive variant. I'm sure it'll have a heat pump optional. And I will agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of the design, at least at this point, but it's no G80 M3. I haven't seen it in any color except silver yet. And I really, really want to reward them for not photocopying all their cars like Audi does.
I think I'm about to put this link here.
Okay.
I think this is the closest to what I'm saying. I think it's more the front end than the belt line. But it reminds me of a Panhard.
The chin.
And actually, if you actually look at how the way the rear trunk is shaped, it's got a better belt line, but the rear trunk, it kind of has a slope down. So it kind of reminds me of
I get the chin, too, though.
Yeah. I guess... I really hate that back window. It looks like a car they left out in the sun for too long.
I think in black it'll look okay.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the Panhard is really cute.
Let's just look at the Panhard. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's a new EV. I have to talk about it. Hyundai Kia has just been killing it lately, so this is... It's a risk. I mean, BMW took a risk with their snoots, and those were terrible, and they failed, hopefully. But this, I think... Since I'm not super polar on it right now, I hope that I start to appreciate it more with time. Like, when the 04 CLS came out, I really hated it. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, that looks fine. And I think it looks better than the S or the E of that vintage. Like, I'm not saying it's a pretty car, but I do think it was, like, the least offensive in how it aged compared to its compatriots. The CLS versus the E-Class and the S-Class of that era, it's like a W220 and a W211. Like, I would much rather have a CLS than either of those.
220 I'm gonna say looks like a foot.
Yeah, but like the 211 E-Class also is not a good looking car.
I would take the E-Class over the CLS.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's better
once you got to the AMG bodywork, it really helped it a lot. And I do objectively like the taillights on the 211.
Okay.
I'm looking at them right now. I feel like the 211.
The facelift 211 in AMG trim looks good, but like a base early 211 320 looks like poo-poo.
I mean, trust me, I'm not saying that this is something where I'm gonna like run home and go on Craigslist for it.
But the CLS has unique elements that I do think weathered the test of time so far better. I'm not saying that the side profile, the swoop, is one of them.
I think that the issue is they all age like milk, and they
Yep.
age like milk too. They don't like.
It was Daimler era Mercedes design.
Yeah,
It didn't age super well.
the design didn't look good, and then like the quality was very milkish. It was very dairy quality.
And those were followed up with, like, I think one of the best looking generations
Yes.
of Benzes too. Like
Yes.
the 212. Oh man, the first gen 212 is a sexy E-Class. And the 221 S-Class in 06 or 07, like, holy, that thing looks great. Better set of powertrains came out with them too.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, but the CLS didn't get a follow up until much later, and it's just like now it's just like a big, it's just a big
I
mushroom.
hate the CLS. I hate everything
That's
about
totally fine.
it. Like,
But
I'm like so diametrically opposed to the CLS, like as a vehicle.
And I assume same thing applies here then.
And that's the thing. I'm not. The jury's out still, because it does have
Yeah.
the Pinot front end, which I like. I don't know. I mean, like, there's certain cars where I should hate them and I don't dislike them. Like the Tesla Model 3, I objectively like the front end of that because it reminds me a lot of a Toyota Publica. Like, it's just weird little things like that.
The scuttle on the Model 3 has always bothered me. Like, if you really slam one, it gets like more okay in a darker color, but like the ratio of the.
Oh, I love it in a bright color.
Okay.
I like the tall roof.
Really?
I love tall roofs. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
man.
I want like the more cartoony you make your car look, the better. Like,
Okay, well
a
that
gigantic
Model
roof
3's
line.
got it there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want like a comical roof line. Like EF sedans, I think look great, and they have a hilarious roof line.
the Stanza.
Yeah, Stanza Wagon. Like I love hilarious
Did
roof
you
lines.
see the one that was for sale or is currently for sale in Ohio for like $3,500?
My friend Dylan was taking a look at that. He has one for daily, so.
It looked pretty good. I mean, like one little bubble on the back hatch, but like it looked all right.
The only problem is I cannot imagine myself ever having to source a part for that vehicle.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be that bad, would
No,
it?
it was that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
It's not a Stanza. It's a Prairie. They just called it a Stanza here.
so you have to get parts from overseas then.
It's a completely different vehicle. Yeah, and even then, like
Oh
trim
no!
pieces
Is
are
it like the 2.5 van engine issue?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like-
Everything has to come from Croatia. Yeah, you're done. Like, it's really bad.
Well, so yeah.
I don't know.
maybe
I do not know how Dylan does it. Like,
You have extra cars as well.
yeah, Dylan does have. He's got a collection of vehicles your size, and they're all sub $500 90s.
That's how I started.
Sport compacts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I
No,
started with
it-
sub $500 cars. but-
Well, they're like he's got like a Geo Storm. He's got a Stanza Wagon. I think he's got a Neon. He's got like all sorts of like weird, just bizarre vehicles. Like his like, I'm pretty sure like Dylan's dream car is like a Buick Century T-Type. Actually,
well, like
he's,
an 86?
yeah, like the front wheel drive
Okay.
Centuries.
Oh, a little
He-
later.
he
Okay.
quite badly wants. He's actually looking for a pre-facelift, first generation Celebrity
Why?
because he likes those.
Okay.
That's his thing.
I mean, they're props. Okay, so if you want the most interesting collection of cheap cars, he's pretty much on the right track.
Yeah, no, he's doing a really good job. He has spent less money than you've spent on one of your vehicles,
Oh yeah.
and he's got a fascinating collection that will garner your time much longer than your collection will. Like,
I started with cheap cars and I just started replacing them one by one with stuff I liked more. But yeah, it's not
yeah,
everyone's
no,
cup of tea.
that's the thing. Is like you're not buying them because it's like they're supercars. You're just buying them because you liked them when you were a kid.
Still like them.
Yeah, and I've been there and done that, and I've moved on to a different part of my childhood.
Yep. Which
Like-
involves the. God, I'm never gonna remember the name of that cut in half Pontiac V8.
The Trophy 4.
Trophy 4, thank you.
Like,
The Trophy 4 era is what I'm going to call
my
it.
childhood of like my favorite cars, like all of them I've either owned or they're like way past the price of me ever wanting to buy them for what they are.
Yeah.
And that's Integras. I've never owned an Integra, but
Oh, man. Another
couldn't right
tangent.
now.
I saw a really, really nice EM1 for sale on the Wholesale Car Facebook page. And the dude was asking $10,500 for it. It was like perfect. I'm like, I'm glad. I scrolled down in the comments. It sold like an hour later. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank Christ. Because I really still want one of those.
EM1s are really good. I would say over an EM1, what I would personally get would be a EJ, which is like the EG era coupe.
Okay.
I would get one of those and do like a Del Sol B16 in it and leave it more or less stock. Maybe throw on some VX Enki wheels, some like 14-inch white Enkis, and lowering springs. I
Sport
wouldn't
compact car.
not even coilovers, like literally just lowering springs. I just do
I'm
it.
still a huge fan of lowering springs over coilovers.
I mean, I
It's
prefer a coilover, like all day long. But I think just for the look I want and the fact that it's very difficult for me to get coilovers and like have the I guess responsibility to not put them on their nuts. It's very difficult for me to do that.
Coilovers, like really high grade old school coilovers or like current high grade stuff, you set them up how you would just like eyeball it and the car sits nice.
Yeah.
You buy a set of cheap coilovers, the car's on its balls. And you got to crank it all the way up and the spring rates are screwed to try to get a reasonable ride height. It's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Yeah, it's a cheap coilover is bad, but like a good coilover.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, when I say a good coilover, I'm not like gonna spaz everyone and gatekeep and say you have to have them be custom made for your specific application.
Yeah, you don't need to
like,
valve custom
you
coilovers.
don't need your custom coilovers because you're taking them on the track every day and like you need to be like fucking rock hard like 5 Viagra's deep to drive the car. Like no, dude. Like I want the car to look okay. I don't care. I want the handle maybe a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. I want to look better. Like fuck off, dude.
I was going to say,
Like,
usually it's just looks for me, and sometimes I have to unlower the cars because of the ride. But
yeah, like I very rarely, and, like I want to be able to adjust it. Like I don't know, maybe I never will. Maybe I will. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing.
as
Fuck
long
off,
as it's not a
dude.
winter-driven car.
Like let me do my thing. Fuck. But anyway,
In this world,
yes. Anyway, let's.
I went back to the Panhard picture.
on here. Good. I want to talk about this effective vehicle
Oh,
called the Family
yeah.
Haulster, and that is that wonderful 1983 Subaru GL.
Is this the one that's got the Olympic livery on it?
Yes, and it has air brakes. That's what those are in the fender flares.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Those
I thought
are-
you meant electric over air, like
no, it's got like
aero brakes.
Yes, aero brakes. If you scroll down to the 10 fastest runs of Goodwood,
Yeah. Oh, I see it.
6 minutes in is when the car's racing.
Okay, I'll click on it. Screw it.
Yeah, it's just mute it and bring it up to 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sorry, this keyboard is not brilliant. Ah, God damn it. There we go.
There we go. Yes,
Close
this
this
is
ad
good.
real quick. I'll unmute it. Screw it.
It's a good sound.
So what's in it for a powertrain?
It is a EJ of sorts with a equal length exhaust manifold that makes 862 horsepower.
Okay, so it's got to be a billet case halves then. I mean,
I don't know, maybe. Doing a equal length exhaust manifold on Subarus,
yeah.
it gives you like 40 to 60 horsepower like that.
Is that why all the TX2K WRXs I
Yeah.
heard sounded okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
equal length exhaust manifold. Yeah.
Oh my God. The tugboat noise really. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that interior though.
Yeah, I really love this car. I love this car a whole fucking lot. Like,
That's quick too. Wow, 4620.
46, it says very effective.
Woo.
It is an effective vehicle.
Wow. I do like the livery on it.
I think this is the thing is Subarus can be good. I have full faith in Subaru being good, and I absolutely have zero faith in anybody that's ever owned a Subaru. That's my issue with it.
What do you mean?
They're totally capable of being very fast, very good vehicles. A friend of mine, Chris Lee, he's got a STI that he drag races, and it's stupid fast, and it's like it's a blob eye, it's rolled rye blue, it looks like a Subaru, makes a Subaru noise, but it's like fully built, and he actually did everything correctly. He didn't
But it doesn't have equal length then. If it's got the burble.
it's because I think it's got top mount turbo manifold where it's.
Oh, so it's pretty much impossible to do equal length.
You
if it's
can,
topside.
but then you run heat issues, and then you can never service it and everything. And
Sure.
yeah, but and I shouldn't say top mount because they're all kind of top mount, but upper.
Oh, okay.
It's
Not in the back corner.
It's on the. It's in the back corner, but
It's not underneath the spare tire.
They couldn't put it next to the engine because the
Oh, yeah.
turbo was larger, so they had
Does-
to move the turbo up and back.
Does wagon have a spare tire in the engine bay?
No, it does not. But it does have a digital dashboard that looks like the factory one.
Let's see. Oh, there. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love that they took the time to copy the font and everything.
Yeah, it's really good. And even the boost gauge is the Subaru boost gauge.
Is that this one right here?
Yeah, that's it. Then when it's boosting, it makes a little fan inside of that and has little air coming out of it. It's very good.
Very 80s.
I love this a lot.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you were planning to keep yours, I'd say, man, there you go. Do something like that.
I don't know what
but
I'm gonna do with it because as much as I want to get rid of it, I also I don't want to keep it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with
it
my
is an
Crest.
interesting car. And
I think my Crest is gonna go before my Subaru.
interesting. Is the Cresta fully working now or no?
I just haven't been in the garage.
Okay.
But I can be. It's literally it's a once I have the Buick out of the way, it is a weekend's work.
Is it still transcooler related or is it something else?
No, I have to pull the transmission out, adjust the torque converter, and because the torque converter was kinked over and it locked up the whole driveline.
Automatic stuff, man. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah, I can see why
it's
you're not dealing with it.
It's
because
more annoying to do a manual swap. It's just I'm just stuck in this middle road where everything's annoying. But I do have an air conditioning machine now that I won off of a I got online.
Oh, the service machine, right?
the
I'm
service
just
machine.
I've never heard somebody call an air conditioner an air conditioning machine.
Yeah, I got my AC service machine for $40.
Which is great because I have an AC leak.
Yeah, her AC just started to not work.
Just assume if it has fluids in it, it has a small leak in my car because.
But anyway, yeah,
sure
so
you can get stuff
I can get the AC to work in both the Subaru and the Cressida now. And
Does
so
the machine support the oldest of 12
No.
as well, or is it just
No,
134?
just 134.
Okay, so you can just get
I
those
just never
thread-on
stop
adapters.
the leaks in my
Exactly.
car because there's always mechanics that are like, we're going to charge you $12,000.
At a certain point in a car's life, why bother?
Yeah.
Especially
I was like that when I inherited it at 10 years old.
when I plow 30, I'm like, your car's leaking oil. I'm like, cool.
The
And?
other thing is with the Subaru, Darren is literally an electrical engineer.
Oh yeah, didn't you say we were gonna just lock him in the garage for a day next time he's here?
I was joking about it, but also
He's
low
also
key,
very intrigued with our bathroom, and I kind of just want to have him over one weekend and be like, have fun.
I kind of want to also just send him the wiring harness and be like, hey dude, want a project to do in your spare time over the course the
But
next
he
6
just
months?
acquired a house
Oh.
Yeah, be like, here dude, you can
with a detached basement.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
yeah, it's very strange. I've
Is that
never
like you have
seen
to
it.
walk around
Screenshot
with
of
Show
it?
it to him
or-
after the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
because
alright.
it's very
I'm just
unrelated.
pulling it up, but
anyway.
I took a screenshot
Okay.
of the horrifying listing.
So we, I guess, briefly touched on this last episode.
Yes.
So car shows happening today even yet in Minnesota.
Yes.
We've got Cars and Crafts.
Yep.
I don't think this is the last one of their series, right? But it's the
No.
last one. Tam is. I saw his
Tam,
post about
Tam
the.
is, he got a gig because he's like a fluffer for
Yeah.
celebrities.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah,
I
it's the
like
best way to describe it. But Tam is going on tour with Elton John.
it. I know. I'm very jealous because
So-
I really like Elton John.
I don't.
Oh man,
I appreciate him.
I have Hunky Chateau and Mr. Wags that just lives in there.
I can't.
That's fine.
Elton.
That's totally fine.
It's just to me. It's just generic glam rock. It's just okay.
I liked like Netflix. There was a movie somebody did about him too. It
Yeah,
wasn't-
Rocket Man or something.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't great. Anyway, but did they run through September, October? I can't remember.
September,
I
sometimes
think
October.
No, they do
Okay.
October.
October
Okay.
is tentative.
No,
Yeah.
October they do because it's the first Saturday.
No, they posted.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
They
yeah.
posted their schedule and they said October is tentative.
Well, yeah, tentative of a Mopar running into somebody in September.
And
Probably.
if it looks like it's gonna be rainy and shitty, they won't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the Mopar joke.
Yes.
And then we have Intermarque's keg and case. So I went
Which
last
pause
time.
about that Mopar, we saw it the other day.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
back
part
to
of
the
Back
50s.
to the 50s, there's afterwards, everybody meets up at Harmar Mall, which is just a
Yikes.
couple
It's not
blocks
everybody.
down.
It's not
everybody.
9,000 cars.
It's not 9,000 cars, but
There's like some people do
A lot of
burnouts at Harmar Mall like
Okay.
they will do at any given point in time.
yeah, and there's just a lot more spectators because they just go from the state
Wish I'd known that. I would
fairgrounds
have gone to that.
to Harmar.
Oh,
and
always assume that if there's a car show of sorts at the state fair, there's always going to be shenanigans after the show at about 7 o'clock until midnight at Harmar Mall. And it's 7 o'clock until they get shut down by the police. But, like, don't show up exactly at 7. Show up, like, leave your house maybe at 7, possibly.
And then drive slower than you normally would.
Consider leaving your house at 7.
Sorry, are you a Porsche fuel gauge? Consider your remaining range.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we were watching the shenanigans, and then all of a sudden, we all look at each other and we go, "Is that?" And we're like, "That is."
It was a very shitty Charger
And we all
doing,
stepped
like,
a few steps back.
drifting out of a corner because he hasn't learned and kicking the rear end out and had, like, all sorts of rear end damage.
It was really
was
fun
him.
to
Does
see.
the bank know what he's doing with their car?
No.
No. I was like, I can't wait to see that back at Rock Auto.
Rockstar Auto.
Rockstar Auto.
Okay.
Rockstar Auto, that's a dealer that used to have.
assumed.
They've run out of bad decision Chargers, it seems like.
Oh
Yeah.
no! I
Um,
noticed the West 7th car dealership.
No,
Buy
what-
here, pay here's
don't
okay.
worry. Don't think that they've put responsible purchasing decisions here. Look at the lineup of what's in their dealership right now. This is a buy here, pay here lot.
A clearly abused first-gen Mercedes GL 450, high-end. Oh no, a first-gen Cayenne. Is it an
L-
LR4?
It's an L332 Range Rover
Oh my
HSE
God.
supercharged.
A V6 Ford Explorer, which clearly has water pump failure. A Q7 first-gen. I can't even see the red car.
Yeah, let me look.
Another. Oh, sorry, I swiped.
No, it's all right. The red car was a Hyundai,
Sorry.
and then another V6,
Explorer with
Explorer.
leaking water pump, probably.
and then the Odyssey generation that had like the worst transmission issues, and like
Aha.
the very end is a Charger.
Oh my God.
This is the most amazing dealership.
That
And
poor
then
GL.
Back there, there's a 4L60 Yukon, so it's just like even the reliable vehicle is the one you don't want.
Of that lineup, I think the GL is going to do the best.
I think I'm trying to think.
Depends on when it last.
This
had a
is
fluid
this is our
service,
new
but-
like Carbitrage like challenge is like
Yeah, if you
buy here pay here luxury vehicle challenge.
Yeah.
go to one of these buy here, pay here dealerships to set up and do an episode and be like, all right, of these cars,
I
which
would,
one is going to drive the longest?
I would probably go with the Porsche. Reason being, when those fail, they fail catastrophically.
Okay.
So there's no way that this can be running with a chronic issue. They either have a problem or they don't have a problem.
Okay, you do have a point.
Yeah.
Yes, that Cayenne
I-
Turbo S that was parked in front of my house.
Yeah, that had a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, and if it's running, it doesn't have a problem.
It was not impounded.
The
People
Q7
that owned it came and towed it.
The Q7 is one that will run with a problem. That's just going to run around with timing
Okay.
chain problems.
Correlation codes.
yeah. But I think if this Porsche doesn't have cam crank correlation codes, that would probably be my play.
That might be an S.
And I think that the reason I would buy that is I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure what the price is on it, but I bet I could probably get that to sell no reserve on bring a trailer needing work. I could get out of it faster than I could get out of the other ones.
Probably. Yeah, if the
I know
GL
that-
had factory wheels, I think that would sell okay.
Yeah, and I think that the Range Rover is going to be such a nightmare because also
Is
they
it sagging?
as I say, they recently drove this because
They started every day.
yeah, they start every day. 'Cause I've driven past her on a Monday and it's on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I would
this
probably
is
say
the-
the Porsche is the one I
This
would
is
take.
the
All right.
dealership I drive past on my way home every day, and it's so fun. I love. It's my favorite.
Yeah, any buy here, pay here that's got formerly expensive German and
Oh no,
English
they're still
vehicles.
expensive. Don't get me wrong.
And
Why?
if they don't sell right
They're
away,
just-
they just wrap them.
No, they're just not expensive up front.
Okay.
Every single Q5 that you own for a year will cost you the exact same amount of money.
Did I tell you I got my boss's wife to get out of her Q5?
did it light on fire or something? Or?
No, I got her to trade it in at the peak of its value.
Yes.
Perfect.
On a Lexus.
Good decision. Yes.
Yay!
She has a brand new NX200T. I'm like,
That's actually a very based vehicle.
we drove a lot of
Jana
vehicles, and
wants it.
I
Jana,
want
that's
one
the
so
one you want.
bad.
Yeah.
we waited 6 months, got it at MSRP, but we had the first build round of the new body style.
Cool. Ah,
It's
man.
actually- it's-
NXs are so cool.
That's so much cooler. Like,
She's like, I've gone on more dates with you than I have with my husband in the last 20 years. I'm like,
ooh.
well, enjoy your Lexus. Bye.
Get her
Ryan's
hooked.
like,
You can get it with a red interior.
I love Lexus.
She got a red, Matador red exterior with like the coconut cream, whatever interior.
Ooh.
That's a good color combo.
Yep.
Oh shit! Look at that green.
I like these
That's
a
a
lot.
yeah. These are good trucks.
I do really like the green. Like, I actually even like the rear end. I saw one of those new NXs coming down Pikes Peak.
We
These
were
aren't
talking
normal.
about car
So,
shows, though, weren't
These
we?
aren't normal crossovers.
We were, but whatever.
These are not normal crossovers. Like this is like I think a luxury crossover is like a different thing than just a normal crossover. But anyway, yeah, talking about things. So Intermarques, what do I think about these shows?
So I wanted to, those I don't really care as much. The Modest Show and Minneapolis Mile. So I was talking to Balto at the last Intermarque Cars and Coffee about Minneapolis Mile, and he said it's not an exclusively indoor show this year. It's like a 50-50 split between like the Minneapolis Mile that it got its name from, you know, the one where they shut down streets and it was good, and the shitty indoor parking lot one. So I don't know how that's going to work. He described it more as like a SEMA, where it's kind of broken out into a couple different areas. Are they going to get enough attendance to do that? Because the photos last year didn't look like it was that full. And then Modest, I don't know about the River Center as a venue, frankly.
I liked Modest at the River Center. I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot. I think it's very difficult to pull off an indoor car show because, as you know, I go to a car show more for the location than the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't care what car I'm looking at, I'd rather be with people, and what it's around. Because the thing is, like, I mean, the cars don't build themselves. The people you're with build the cars, which is a good point.
And there's no Mopars burning out inside.
Exactly.
helps.
But, like, my thing is, like, I would still go to Cars and Crafts if Cars and Crafts is just a bunch of Subarus.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Like, I was walking around the show.
If it was all Bajas, I would still go to Cars and Crafts.
I have a friend who is...
Would you have a Baja Blast?
I have a friend who is still... like very try hard about the cars he sees at shows,
Okay.
and I'm like, I don't care about the cars. Like I literally could not care less.
There may
'Cause-
be one or two cars that I look at.
Like
but-
even then, like
The
I
Nissan
even
Patrol?
then, like I told him, like, dude, this could literally be a whole show full of Arden flatheads, and I would, if I'm stuck walking around this show with people I hate,
Yeah.
I would not want to be here. But like, if this is just a bunch of Chevy Luminas with Juggalo stickers on it, and it's a nice venue, and it's nice people, and like I actually enjoy it. Like, I guess I'm gonna go look at some
hell
Luminas.
of a mental image.
I guess I'm looking at Luminas with Juggalo stickers on them. Like,
I like the early Evo and that Mugen Civic last year.
yeah, like I think
Thanks.
Modest. I feel. I haven't been to Minneapolis Mile because Dan always plans it when I'm out of town. So this will be the first year to be in town because of the economy.
L'économie.
Yeah, it has been impossible to save any money.
Oh
we had
yeah,
to
and
put
we
a
are.
$200 deposit down on the Airbnb, and we canceled it because I was like, I would like my
We
savings
we
back.
put the deposit down before inflation happened,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then inflation happened. I'm like, oh, nope, sorry,
we
honey,
can get that back.
gas is still $5 a gallon.
I was like,
It is
I
indeed.
need to
This
pay
is
my
noticeable.
credit card bill, and it happens to be $200. So
Well, that's a no-brainer. Solved.
yeah,
yeah, and I'm like,
And
so-
we are just on the beginning of a recession, so.
Well, the recession I'm okay with. It's the
Yeah,
it's the
but-
inflation preceding it that's a problem. I can deal with a recession. My whole job is about people who are dealing with a recession. Like classic car sales, like it is 50% people unaffected and 50% people very affected.
Yeah.
So you're good with classic car sales during a recession.
Same
Like
with
that-
construction.
Yeah, it's such a 50-50 split is that like I have job security in a recession.
Yeah, I feel like the expensive stuff isn't going to change at all, and like the stuff sub 15 might get.
No, I don't
hit
think
occasionally,
nothing's
but-
gonna change because the people that are selling their cars that have to sell their cars during a recession, they need to sell it, and vastly more people are affected by a recession than aren't. So it's to be the same handful of people buying, the hell of a lot more people are gonna be selling. So
That's me and soon to be buying graphics cards.
I
Those
know.
are getting cheap.
I know, finally.
There's two 3070 FHRs in here. I bought those for less than 400 each.
Very good.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm really glad I'm not in a closing daycare now, and that happened last year.
I think.
I think I'm just gonna get
a
an
different
OnlyFans.
prices. Feet
I think-
pics.
Feet
Um,
pics.
I think with Minneapolis Mile, I have faith that Dan's gonna figure it out. 'Cause Dan really works well with figuring things out.
And he thinks about it. He
Dan
doesn't
does a very good job with his shows. The problem at hand is he's trying to do SEMA things, because that's what he goes to all the time is SEMA.
Yep.
And I really need to get him to not go to SEMA, because I really want him to go to Car Week.
Oh,
'Cause
so
I'm like-
much better than
I'm
SEMA.
like, dude,
Oh my goodness.
SEMA, the concept of SEMA Stand, and Pack, like they all suck.
It's so annoying.
Like you don't need to go to any of those. Like
No,
let's go to I think maybe next year I'll take him to Grid Life or something. But
it's definitely better than SEMA.
or the Hawk or
the Hawk is
something.
easy. That, by the way, that's in like a week.
I'm not doing that this year,
Yeah,
but
well, I'll take pictures.
thank you. But I want to take Dan to.
If I didn't
not
have a car
SEMA
that would go
stuff.
there for free, I wouldn't do
I
it.
want to take Dan to not SEMA stuff because what he's seeing is SEMA and cool, SEMA's a thing, but
You go once, absolutely, but
Yeah.
that's it.
it's a go once thing.
I don't
Whereas
like going to the car shows where it's all about the fast car.
I
yeah,
don't either.
like
I mean, to
going-
Ryan's point, yeah, it's like it's the people in the venue, it's not the cars.
Yeah, so that's why I like going out to Car Week, because not only is it a car show,
Mhm.
but you have the auctions going on. You have the brands that are out there to impress you.
Well, and it's also gorgeous scenery.
It's gorgeous,
And
and
like
then you've got
everyone
racing.
out there that has these multi-million-dollar cars that are going balls to the wall are super friendly, nice people.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it's not a bunch of tryhards.
It's
and
yeah.
It's
like,
not somebody give me a hot take about politics I didn't ask for.
I know,
yeah, and
which is weird for old people, and they're all old because they have money. But
Well, because the thing is these are the people that go to Car Week, or the people are they're beyond politics.
yeah,
These are the people that run politicians. They're the
Mhm.
politicians' bosses.
Yeah.
So they don't complain about what their
Nope.
employees are doing.
yeah,
have you seen what's going on? Yeah, I did that.
yeah, and like when I had like my press pass and stuff, I didn't have to ask questions. People would come up if I was looking at a particular car, and they weren't even associated with the car, and they could tell me exactly what was going on in the car, and they would do it like with a smile on their face, and they're like, "This, I see you noticed this car for 3 seconds. Let me tell you the history and why it's really cool, and this is how much we're expecting it to sell for. It's also going to be racing
They
at
don't-
Laguna Seca."
They don't talk down to you either.
Yeah.
They're not mansplaining it to you.
No, it's like
And I was a woman.
Well,
yeah, no, it's Jana looking like an AutoZam, and the person with the AutoZam was that guy's hauling ass, but the person with the AutoZam. The person with the AutoZam was just like super nice about it, and I'm like, oh, these are a lot of like newer cars that you've purchased. He goes, yeah, I wrote a movie and it sold, so I bought all this stuff. I'm
And
like,
he's-
cool.
And like he said that
Like, all right, dope.
not trying to like show somebody that you're somebody
Yeah.
you're not. Like
No,
this
he's
is exactly what happened.
And
No,
he
this is
was-
what I did. Is I've been working on a screenplay for 15 years, and I finally sold it, and I made a lot of
And-
money, and now I'm happy.
the reason why he bought the Japanese
the
K
dream.
cars he did was because he's like, yeah, I think these are going to be valuable. I think the kids are going to like it, so I bought it because I think kids are going to like it. And he was right, because after that, the AutoZam is...
Well, he bought it because he knew that kids are gonna like it, but he wasn't like, I'm gonna buy it and drive up the valley. He's like, I know kids are gonna like it. I'm gonna bring it out to places for them to see,
Yeah.
and when I'm done with it, I will sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my decision. Even now with car shows, like it's not like what do I want to drive. It's like what are people going to appreciate the most
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And that's what he was telling us, all that. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is cool. And they're always like only 5-minute conversations, and you
E30,
get
by the
all
way.
this...
That's what you should drive. To.
Brexit or which one?
No, you're the M3.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on.
All right.
But yeah, so, and like you have all these really informational conversations that happen in less than 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Because they're busy.
Yeah,
You're
they're going to have
busy.
to explain that many times, I'm sure, over the
And
course of the week.
it's just like, I don't know, it feels a lot safer.
Yeah,
If
no,
that
so-
makes sense.
Coming back to that, then, in your opinion, in Minnesota, what is the show that pulls off that like ethos
Modest.
the best?
Modest, yeah.
Okay.
I think the Cars and Crafts does.
Well, I
because
mean,
you
Cars
have,
and Crafts, yeah. But I thought we were talking about between.
But-
No, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious about the
Well,
overall
Cars-
opinion on
Cars
the
and
two big
Crafts.
shows.
overall,
Yeah.
like big car show that
Yeah.
replicates Car Week the best is Intermarque.
There's a wasp over there.
Yes, I know. I've been looking at it.
Yuck.
Intermarque is its own thing, but like not their Cars and Coffee thing. That's their actual.
Right, and I'm curious to see this weekend if it becomes better attendant. I do think people are figuring out about it, and it's slowly growing.
Well,
Yeah.
he also. It was previously marketed in Intermarque and in a group with 57 people in it.
The MN Fiat group.
Yes.
I had to tell somebody that they wanted to come to this. I'm like, I don't know where the thing is other than the Facebook MN Fiat group, so just look there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure it starts at 8.
But
I want to go kill that thing really
Yeah,
badly.
go-
would you
do it.
like to? We're pausing while Eric goes and kills a wasp quite badly.
He's got his flip flop out. He got it. It went behind the door. But you hit him for sure.
Oh yeah.
At the very least, he broke his wings so he can fly with us. So,
No, he did. He
Anyway.
did.
He got him right in the dome.
Chrome dome.
what was I gonna say?
Ah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm interested in Keg and Case, Cars and Coffee. There's a lot of ants in that thing.
Oh yeah.
Because
I thought you said ants. I'm like, there's ants.
I know. I was
now,
like,
too?
ants where? No. I'm done. We're done with the podcasting.
I think as far as large shows go,
To free geek.
Modest doesn't more than Minneapolis Mile for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with Minneapolis Mile.
No.
It's just
It
that
needs to
it
go back outside.
well, no, it's not. Yeah, that A, and B, it is the approach of what they're trying to do. Is I have no interest in SEMA.
Yeah.
I have mini interest in Tuner Galleria or like Week Fest or something like that, where
Yeah.
it's like a really
I think-
good indoor car show with very high level, very well built import cars.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I mention that is a lot of people can build an IS250 stock with just like airbags on it and a vinyl wrap. Like, all right, cool, you built a Lexus, great. But like, once you have like, an IS300 lowered with like a Goretti body kit, and you have a like 2JZ GTE as opposed to 2JZ GE or even just a turbocharged. Yeah, like when you're actually like doing a real build and you're actually putting in like quality parts, you actually have to hunt down. You're not just like adding more. That's where I get into it, and I think when I think of what I've seen from Minneapolis Mile, it's a lot of more.
Yeah.
And I don't need more. I need better.
I think
Give me 5 cars that are well built instead
My-
of 200 okay ones.
And there were definitely 5 very well built cars there.
Yeah, as opposed, but in a sea of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the curated nature, or at least what I perceive that to be, was definitely better at Modest
Yeah.
than what I saw in the photos from Mile.
Yeah, so
which
I
I'm
mean,
not
I'll
going
go to
back
my.
too close outside.
I may go to Mile because Dan's probably gonna have me go, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go.
I
I'm
think
fine.
my
I want to go to support Dan because
Yeah.
Dan's one of my favorite people.
Dan's good people.
Yeah, but
He really likes kitties.
yes, he does. He's a great person. He's one of my all-time favorite people, and like all of my criticism I have of anything that he does is like
supportive.
it's supportive. Like I'm very,
Constructive?
I'm
Constructive.
very honest with him. I've always been.
Yep.
I'm
No, I think
never
he
anything short of
appreciates
that.
too. I always
Because
do the same thing to him.
yeah,
too.
like I'm not afraid to tell him like this is shit. Don't do it, dude.
I do get a lot of okay, thanks as a responses when he texts me. I'm like, oh, that was easy.
I like being able to tell people that because like
He responds very well to constructive criticism.
Yes.
I'm happy that he seeks it out.
the other issue is I feel worse lying to my friend than telling them their thing's shit because I don't want to hype them up when they're doing a bad thing
Yeah.
and then they catch a fat fucking L. Like I don't want to be like I don't want to be telling my friend Joe like, yeah, dude, go buy the 3rd gen Camaro. Like it's matte black and it's got 57 prior owners. Okay, it has a not numbers matching 305.
Oh,
And it's got a 700 R4. Those weren't even supposed to have a 700 R4. You know what, dude? Yeah, go buy it. You can make something special out of that. I'm not going to do that. No. You know what I'm going to do? is then be like, okay, how much money do you have? All right, you have $2,500 to buy something cool. I think your best bet right now is to keep your daily driver. And if you're going to do anything to it, put some sway bars in it because it'll make you feel good. That's what I'm going to tell him.
I think ideal car show in Minnesota would be something around St. Anthony, Maine, right next to the river.
Okay.
And
They
just,
had that for a while, actually.
Yeah, but like almost kind of a Wheels of Italy feel, where it's just like a small group of cars, maybe not specifically like Italian cars, but like a scaled down Intermarque
Sure.
in St. Anthony, Maine. Like, I think that would be the all-time perfect show with some sort of like combine Intermarque with the Stone Arch Bridge Festival, but scaled
cool.
down.
Kind of like how they did that one show, that van show at Art of World before
Yeah.
they made that into a flea market. Yeah, that'd be something like that would be a good idea, where you have like you combine it with another thing that's already happening. Because
Yeah.
all these other shows that we like
Yeah.
are happening because there's something else happening. Like if you go to like Monterey Car Week is based around Laguna Seca and also around Pebble Beach, and then the other shows are just because everybody's there for it. When you have like something like Intermarque, like, yeah, that's in a bubble, but it's also like in a small town. It's very cute, like it's its thing.
Yeah.
But if you have like something, you know, for the most part, most of my favorite shows are in correlation with another event that may or may not be correlated with it, but that's what packs
Sure,
people
it's
into the
related.
area.
Yeah.
And the thing is with packing people in is to get a car show to happen is you have to have sponsorship and you have to have somebody to pay for it, because you're not going to pay for it yourself. You're not going to be out of pocket on a car show. And you need to know what you're doing, and you need to have the faith of the people that are doing it. So what you need to do is you'll have somebody that owns somewhere like El Jefe or something, and you approach them and be like, hey, Stone Arch Bridge Festival is happening. There's going to be a lot of people in this area. Would you like more people to come in front of your business? And then be like, yes, I would like more people to be in front of my business. Like, okay, well, how about this? Let's take this block. We're going to get
We'll get a road closure permit.
a road closure permit. We're going to get a dozen super skookum cars from like around the world. And they're not going to be like loud, shouty, like bro cars. They're going to be really interesting cars that people are going to appreciate. And when you do that, like, you don't go with like, you don't make a checklist and just check off the boxes. You go, what are some very interesting cars that everybody's going to appreciate? Like something like
When you're trying to
classic
grade an
Euros.
essay.
Yeah, like
you know?
Like a Lancia Fulvia.
yeah, like a Lancia Fulvia. You get something like that. You get E30 M3. You get you know, like
Citroen Days.
yeah, Citroen
Oh,
DS.
yeah.
You get like an old Datsun. You get something where you get the cars that I guess like a good way to attract is like get the cars that get girls. Like nobody wants to look at a room full of R32s, but damn it, you know what I'm getting excited about? A bunch of POWs. Like
I think
Like, 'cause
just, like,
I
RZ
Figaro
cars-
POW.
I
yeah.
think that is a good litmus test of if a car would be popular to the general public.
Yeah.
Because when like you have random girls rent a car, then that's gonna be somebody that's like, this is a cool car. What is this cool car? It's a normal
It's
person.
going to be very tiny cars and very large cars.
It's gonna be not a bunch of bros that know the car.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because those bros that know the car are gonna only talk to the guy that knows the car. They're not gonna go inside the restaurant. They're not gonna go help other people. So I think with your thing is like you get something that's gonna be interesting to the general public. Yeah.
Like cars where it's more of an art form, like aesthetically.
I think that's
than-
why Wheels of Italy worked so well too,
Yeah.
because like people know Ferraris and ladies love them, but like nobody knows anything about them, and that's it's shitty, but like that's fine.
Yeah.
And like Pozzolino was cranking every
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
time.
You need
Also,
to make
rip
something like
Pozzolino.
you basically need something like Pozzolino because that really was the best show.
It was the best show. Cars and Crafts was always a second. Now it's the first.
Yeah. So I think the trick is you have cars are second, quality is first.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think venue has a lot to do with the quality. And yeah, St. Anthony, Maine is gorgeous. So
It's my favorite area, and it's already limited to traffic.
Yes.
So, and they close the road all the time.
yep,
All right.
that'd be easy to get.
We are running a little short on time here because our last episode went like an hour and a half, and I
It
want
did indeed.
We need to go out and do a bunch of stuff today. So let's just
Can I quickly round off with
Yeah, go for
my
it.
London story? Okay, so this is going to be TLDR, but my dad is probably going to have to lemon out his Honda Ridgeline.
What happened to it?
So, when I first started driving, he had the first gen Ridgeline, and I love to like back out my driveway and then just throw it into drive. And he always screamed at me because Honda Ridgeline transmissions are known for being
Honda
so
5-speed
sturdy.
automatics?
And so he always yelled at me, and I was like, okay, I gotta be careful. Right? So after a bunch of careful driving, and now he's got the newest generation, he's had to replace the transmission a handful of times.
On the new one?
On the brand new one.
Holy shit.
He has had, in this year alone, has had to replace it 3 times.
Yeah, it's a problem.
In 2022.
In 2022.
Since
How many
January.
miles does he put on it?
He hasn't put any on because he's always been having the transmission pulled out.
Yes.
It's a lemon.
So how many consecutive days has it been in the shop in the last?
Well, for a while, it was a couple months.
Oh
but
yeah, it's
part of
definitely
it-
eligible.
Part of it was also because he got into a car accident after he got it back. Somebody rear-ended him.
that was a separate issue. But I talked to him about it, and he said it's been in the shop for a total of 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, I think non-consecutive has to be 43 or 45 days over a 90-day period.
Yeah, so he's. I think
He's close.
what I told him to do was to just bring the car to the shop and have them figure it out, and start a ticker.
Yeah, drop it off. Like
Yeah.
it's there. I can't use it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so he's done with the Honda Ridgeline, and he's now on the list for the Ford Maverick.
Are
Mavericks
those
are
hard
good.
to get right now?
Yes,
Okay.
they're very hard to get. It's a Ford. But yeah, Mavericks are good. I kind of want one. I want one really
He's
bad,
really
but
excited about it.
I want a Fiat Strada more.
Oh yeah, Strada's
that's-
so much better. The Maverick's
Yes.
just not small enough for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's just barely not small
Yeah,
enough.
I
mean,
don't
I
think
appreciate
he's
it,
gonna. I think it's gonna do what he needs for now, but he's not gonna be as happy as the old Ridgeline.
Yes. Now, before the end of the episode,
Indeed.
I want to show off one very, very ultra quick topic.
'Kay.
This color,
Oh, my
I discovered.
Lanta.
That's a color.
Is that a factory color?
What that is U.S. Army olive drab used in World War II with clear coat on it, and that's
I
a
was-
good color.
That is exactly what it
That
looks
is
like.
an incredibly good color.
an
It's
amazing
U.S. Army olive drab with clear coat. It's really good. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about.
LS3 Business Coupe. Yeah, that looks a lot better than. I mean, it just looks like somebody polished up the single stage ex-military,
Yeah,
and that's
it's-
exactly pretty much what happened.
gorgeous.
But,
Yeah,
those
it's-
seats are beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's olive drab with clear coat. I'm very here for it.
Chevrolet Business Coupe.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Business Coupe.
Yeah.
It's better than BMW's Business CD.
Well, there's the different kinds of coupes and stuff. So like a business. So
Does it have a pleasure coupe?
well, there's a business coupe and there's a salesman's coupe and stuff like that. So a business coupe had a separate trunk that was locking that you could not access from anywhere else. So like if you're a traveling salesman,
Oh.
people aren't gonna be able to like get into it. But there's also a salesman's coupe where the trunk folded down. So if you are a traveling salesperson, you could sleep in it
Oh.
and you put your feet down through the trunk. Yeah. So
So it's basically a Toyota Century.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very interesting vehicles. But anyway, we'll talk to you next time in 2 weeks.
I see a Yurako behind that or something.
Yeah,
or
there's-
Marac.
It's a very cool garage, yes.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.